Hi, good morning. This is David with Mom and Me podcasts on YouTube. Come check us out. Come look at our videos, see what you think. We'd love to get you guys involved with conversations and comments and talks of things. Today, I woke up with a very heavy heart about the sun and what's getting ready to happen with the solar flares and society and things are going to be affected by this. So, I just want to tell you guys too that this is for entertainment purposes only, and I'm not racist at all in any way. In fact, I am very much culture related to more cultures than outside of my own race itself. I don't really relate to a lot of people that are white because of the things that I'm into and what I love and getting involved with. I want to share this because this is not about racist or prejudice. This is about facts. This is about history. Sorry, guys. This is also letting me know that I'm really needing to speak this, and I'm having severe attacks from different angles and different things. Like all of a sudden, this music wants to turn up, and a specific song wanted to start playing. So, one second, guys. All right, I'm back. So I want to talk about some facts first. The solar flares are going to end up breaking through and piercing. It pierces through our skin, the sun, and it's supposed to be able to activate the strands of the DNA within inside of us that hasn't been activated yet. This is supposed to do a lot of things to our physical body in itself for mystic and psychic abilities, and to the point of even supernatural or superhuman abilities. This isn't just for Black people or melanated people in general. But because history has shown itself that what the Caucasian or Caucasoid culture did to the Black race, to the Spanish race, to the Chinese or Asian race as well, a lot of the Caucasian culture is going to be having to migrate either under the ground, away from the sun, clusters and buildings, away from the sun during Pacific times, migrating to the north of Antarctica, or is it the south? The south of Antarctica, going south towards Antarctica, away from these sun flares that are going to be coming and hitting Pacific areas. Now, there are technology that amplifies and then can be manipulated and using the sun's advantage to target specific cities, specific areas, specific things. This is a weather weapons phenomenon that they use to now control the weather. This hasn't been spoken about. I don't know if they actually have brought this to the court system yet to address this. But they have been addressing CERN. They have been addressing a lot of the projects, MK Ultra, Project Blue Beam. A lot of these things have been addressed now, are going to be addressed, are being addressed in the courthouse, have been shut down. The sex trafficking, the human trafficking, the drugs and gun smuggling. A lot of these things are being addressed and being shut down. Now that I've said all of that, history has shown itself that the European culture ended up went to a different country, took the Black culture and migrated them around the world in slavery. This has also happened with the Spanish folks, the Native Americans, and the Asians. But they're the ones that will not be affected by the sun like we will. But as history has shown itself, and if you look around the whole world right now, if you take away the white Caucasian culture, you're going to see a lot of disturbed people that don't care about things. we're one of the only cultures that actually stand up and help every other culture in the whole world. If we are removed, there's going to be a tremendous amount of outpours of catastrophes, of things going to be ruined, rotten, destroyed. I have been around black cities. I grew up around Caucasian white people. And in classes and disabilities, to where there's environments to where there's a mix of different races, in areas where the outcast and the black sheep that weren't educated. Now, this is letting me know I'm supposed to be speaking about this and how I'm still being siphoned and taken energy from me to be able to be given to the people through someone else that is siphoning my energy and trying to take my abilities. This is possible for people to do this, but not by the divine to allow it. And it does not last. If we end up having to migrate and to leave areas, I'm warning you guys to treat each other with kindness and respect, to not look at each other as fear, to not look at each other as a way to get advantage or gain for yourself, but a collectiveness of working to help each other out, to have compassion for each other. You have to understand that right now, and this isn't having to do with race at all. This is having to do with facts, evidence, things that show itself that are proof. Each race has its own defects and flaws and things that are going on with them. Caucasian people have been assigned a lot of around the world to organize controlling and taking control of the situations, whether by force, whether by being rude or mean or wrongful doings. And if you look at some of the cities around the world that are melanated cities, you have a lot more things that are going on in those cities that are corrupt. And this has nothing to do with white people, Caucasians in general. This is a cultural difference. If this doesn't change, when the Caucasians have to migrate and leave from around here, from these areas, the whole planet is going to go to crap that we're living now. And I say this because there's a forewarning of the oceans and the lands having massive dry up spells. The sun right now is hitting people to where they're going to be having some health issues, whether people are going to be having different kinds of health issues because of the sun. Melanated people are more able to handle this than the Caucasian cultures, or the elderly, or the youth and the young. I do want to express this, and I come off, and you might take this however you want to, but I'm not racist in any way. I look at things as facts, as evidence. I look at patterns. I look at how cultures are acting, how they have in their environments, the way they treat things and do things. And I'm not saying everyone is the same or everyone is different, but the majority of the population of different cultures are operating in this type of way. So by me saying that, it is time for the melanated culture to start looking at their own culture themselves, of how to to be more mindful of themselves, be more mindful of the people around them, be more mindful of how they treat their environment. Confirmation. Be more mindful of the things that they're doing to each other and doing to the things around them and the people around them. You can have love for a person, an environment that you don't take care of because you allow your room or your place or your house or your city to go to trash because you don't want to take care of things. Many of the cultures that I've seen in some of these areas, and this is another reason why you have a lot of cultures but they're very few and far between when it comes to an overall estimate of the Caucasian culture, the Black culture, the Spanish and Latino culture, the Asian culture, different communities, different areas with different types of ghettos, different types of red districts, different types of, I would say, rich areas, middle class areas. Majority of most of this has gone to where if you look at the comparison of these things between each other's culture, majority of most of these cultures are Black that have run down the areas in the cities. And this isn't just because of the suppression. This is because of the way that your mind has adapted in dealing with society and how the powers that be that run over everything. Even in the Black cities, they still have to follow the government's structure, the country's structure of the way the Caucasian are running them. And this isn't just the Caucasian. This actually goes deeper. They're using the Caucasian race to actually disguise themselves, to project themselves and to portray themselves as a Caucasian when really they're not even human. And I want to make this clear that a lot of the reptilians, a lot of the draconians, a lot of the people that are wearing snake suits and actors and people that are portraying, doing certain things around the world that are using and representing the Caucasian culture to make us look bad after we've done already the things that we did in the past. But it's time for the other cultures to stand up for themselves, not against society, not against the powers that be, but correcting, changing your mindsets, changing the way you treat people, changing the way that you perceive and look at how to handle life. This isn't about jobs. This isn't about the government. This isn't about corporations, about felons, about the system itself and how it suppresses the melanated culture, because I do know that. I'm a part of having to deal with that. For most people that don't understand that. But I am hearing to tell you that if you don't change the way your mind is set and heal to respond differently than the way that you've been, the environments are going to turn to trash. People are going to have to start taking care of themselves better, start taking care of their environments better, start taking care of their minds better, start taking care of how they treat other people better, being accountable for their actions. If the people do not take accountable for their actions, and yes, I'm not talking about the Caucasian race, because many people in different cultures do not take accountability but blame everyone else or excuse what they're doing and look at what other people have done. Instead of pointing the finger at everyone else, we need to point the finger at ourselves and what needs to change. I have lived in a lot of areas where I've seen a lot of the Black culture destroy the community because they've had a divided line between each other, because they've been suppressed in mental slavery for so long, because they've adapted and adjusted to the types of devices that the Caucasian culture and the government structure has put into these communities. But it's time to look at your streets with the trash that is on the streets. I'm not talking about people. I'm talking about actual, literally trash that people want to throw out their cars, throw on the streets. The buildings that want to get rotten and ruined. Your environments of your houses that you don't want to clean, or you clean too much and too concerned about how your environment is without worrying about your mental state. If the Caucasian race leaves these regions of where we are now, and it is left with the only melanated culture, if you don't wake up to change how you're living, you're going to destroy and bring on more catastrophes upon this region and area. This is a forewarning, prophetic warning to those. There are going to be visitations. There are going to be some enlightened beings visitating in the next open contact in the near future. But by the year 2030, and the major catastrophes that might happen are going to happen around the world. Chain of events of one thing that's going to lead to another because no one addressed it or dealt with it. And if you don't prepare for your mind, your actions, how you treat people, how you look at people, how you guard yourself, how you put up walls, how you do certain things, this planet as we know it is going to go to crap and abandoned. So this is a forewarning for people to wake up, to change their minds, to change how they treat people, to take accountability for their own actions. So start asking the real questions. Is this me? Do I need to change this and work on it? You have help. You have support. People are led to other people to be able to relate to people for help. You have beings in other realms that speak and lead us to heal. This is not a prophecy so much more as a pattern repetition effect of what's going to be going on in the near future if things do not change. Many people are going to be affected by the sun and have health issues to the point of death and dropping on the spot. And the Caucasian culture, a lot of the other cultures aren't going to be affected as much as the Caucasian culture is with the sun. This isn't just skin cancer and sinus issues. This is a lot of issues that a lot of people, if they don't start waking up and addressing these issues truthfully for how they are and what they are and what their evidence, realistic, truthful evidence, this world as we know it is going to end up going to hell. And it's going to go through a stage and a period of time to where it's going to be desolated and abandoned with very little to living on this population, on this planet left. I am forewarning you all to change the prospect of how you're thinking, because if you don't, things are not going to change to get better. It's going to get worse because of what's coming ahead. I'm getting chills right now as I'm saying this. I have so much compassion for this world and so much care for this world. And so much pain that I've had to deal with through betrayals, through backstabbing, through not crediting or validating for anything that I say or help or do to influence the people that are around me. I am still going through a process myself of having to deal with healing. But I am warning everyone that hears this video. So, this is for entertainment purposes only to those that want to put me and for those that are monitoring and watching me. I pray that you guys may change the way you think, to have control over people, to suppress people, and start having an open mind to work through the system or the things that are in the system that really can make a difference. There's so many rules in government, official rules, laws, and even more things in the future that might have taken place to suppress the people more. But if the people in power don't change the way that they see how they can handle these problems with an open mind, with open people to be able to hear ideas that might change, that are non-confrontational issues, non-confrontational ways to deal with the issues. If this does not change, then as we know it, the areas and the regions that humanity is populating now is going to go to a bare minimum of nothing. They're showing you guys in the movies now what's getting ready to happen. They're showing you in the movies in the future what's getting ready to happen. They're actually even telling you in the movies what's already happened because of their policy of how they have to tell you what they're going to do or what they've done. I know way more than I explain or tell people, and I am open to helping people. I implore you to reach out. I speak prophetically. I have been doing this for 20 years, over 20 years, in the streets, in the churches, prophesied and speaking and insights to people and experiencing things that most people are now coming into that don't never experience. So, on that note, I hope this may change and help your day to lead you in a better path to a better future.